Ladies and gentlemen, I hang my head in shame when I identify with the Scriptures in saying that I am the chief of sinners. I feel the words of Spurgeon in my soul when he says, "If any man thinks ill of you, do not be angry, for you are far worse than he thinks you to be." Paul's cry at the end of Romans 7 radiates in my bones, "O wretched man that I am! Who will deliver me from this body?" And even being a saint since childhood, I still battle and struggle with the rotting corpse that I've been delivered from. The old nature that Christ has pulled me from, the siren song of a spiritual prostitution still rings in my ears, and I fail Him. Oh, I fail Him. I fail my God, I fail my wife and my children and my church. If it was not for that scarlet cord that hangs, if it was not for the blood of Christ that streams like a cord from His body on my account, the propitiation of Him bearing my sin on the cross, that I would find my home in the valley of the shadow of death and despair and ruin, that my home would be a cold, unending grave, but for Christ, that I would be in the ashes of Jericho. But God has given me Christ. God has given me that scarlet cord that hangs in my window. The representation of the blood that says I belong to Jesus. This dark and sinful world is calling. Its voice is so sweet sounding, but it sings with a forked tongue. You do not need to sell yourself to its fleeting passions, running ragged in pursuit of a joy that never comes. Its water is laced with salt and just causes you to crave it all the more, with no satisfaction to be had. But Christ calls as well. He calls for all who are weak and heavy burdened to come to Him to give you rest. He provides springs of living water for those who thirst, that they may thirst no longer. If it wasn't for that scarlet cord, if it wasn't for Christ choosing to make a people who are not His people,